Hey guys, I'm back. And when I say we about to get into it, I've been digging, honey, and digging deep down this rabbit hole. There are a lot of things that people and the public have not realized when this case first surfaced. A. Jennifer Hudson at the time had just became a superstar and an Oscar nominee award artist. B. This was a very big case. The facts that her mother, her brother, and her nephew were murdered in cold blood. Why wasn't this court case made public about William Balfour? See, they took a narrative and they put this narrative into place that William Balfour was a criminal. He was a criminal since a child. Look at his record. He's a thug. He's a gangster. But he was with Julia Hudson. And when I tell y'all this rabbit hole is going to go deep, because see, we done got some information on Mr. Gregory, Julian's father, the actual biological dad. This man was a deadbeat father. He was not in Julian's life, as I stated in the last video that I've done. And he really didn't care about Julian. Okay? Whatever relationship he had with Julia, it was only for that one night when she got pregnant, honey. Because shortly after the murders, guys, yes, shortly after the murders. Now, there was an interview when Julia stood up and she was talking about what had happened, and Gregory was standing next to her and he said his piece. Gregory, however, was never involved in Julian's life. Julia never even got a pamper nor a can of milk from Gregory. So to make matters worse, right after the murders occurred and William Balfour was convicted and charged and convicted for the murders of Jennifer Hudson's family, including her nephew, Julian Hudson. Gregory himself, and this was sent to me from an inside source, decided to make his rap career known and record his rap video in front of the very home that Jennifer Hudson's mother and brother were murdered in, and that his son was kidnapped from, taken and shot in the head and in the back of his neck and dumped inside of his uncle's vehicle on the west side of Chicago on 13th and Colin Avenue. And oh yeah, shout out to my sis, Giovanni Smith. Honey, I'm with you. We got this. Sis, please believe this. But shout out to Giovanni Smith, one of my subscribers. Now, information was sent to me in my email, guys. I had not been checking my email. And there was a young lady by the name of Shatavia. Yes, I'm going to tell my subscribers and viewers your name. She had the nerve to send me a email stating that William Balfour murdered. Okay, let me just go back to the beginning. She said that he murdered Jennifer Hudson's mother, brother, and nephew because he was upset that Jennifer Hudson did not go through with her deal with him. And the deal was that Jennifer Hudson was going to put him on as a rapper. Now, you guys never even heard William's mother state anything about him being into music, so we know this is a lie. But this young lady swears that the lady that William was with the night, the lady that testified in court, she claims this is her cousin. And she reassured me that William told her this. And not only that, William allegedly dropped Julian off to his own mother, Mrs. Michelle Davis Balfour, until he decided what he was going to do, and said that he panicked. After shooting the brother, he shot the brother first. He was in the home coming, and it confirms what I said, guys. Not saying that this is how it actually occurred. William Balfour was with Jennifer Hudson's sister Julia just a day before the murders. And I told you guys on that video that he was in the 911 phone call. But check this out. They were still seeing each other. It was her birthday. The day that Jennifer Hudson's family were murdered was on her actual birthday. But William was at the house the night before. When Julia supposedly went to work, she came home and called 911 and acted like she was outside by herself. They got into it because of the laptop situation. And yes, Mrs. Smith, his mother stated that William was upset when Julia started boasting and bragging about her new male friend buying her a laptop. That's not something that I made up off the top of my head. That was something that his mother stated. However, I cannot find that footage, but I'm reassuring you that she said that. I like to go with the facts, guys, to prove my point and to prove my commentary. I just don't put out anything without facts. Because why would the laptop seemingly be important in the middle of a murder investigation and with her son being shot in his head and dumped in that truck like that? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to speak my piece before I let everybody else speak their piece in this commentary, what y'all about to hear. Jennifer knew that she had to do her sacrifice. Let's not get off of that and ignore that. She discussed this over with Julia time and time again. And not only that, guys, it got so bad for Julia that her vehicle was going to be repoed. They began to garnish her checks, and William was going to pay the half of the fees for her vehicle so she can get back and forth to work. So in my opinion, after Julia and William spent the night together before the days that the murders occurred, she started bragging and boasting about this laptop that her new friend bought her to make him jealous because Julia had knew that William moved on and started dating two different women. See, Julia did still love William, but she had to go through with her and Jennifer what they discussed about doing the sacrifice. Things would be a lot easier for you. Julian's dad left you to raise a bastard child, allegedly. And I'm not putting no sugar on this shit. I'm gonna give this shit to y'all just how the fuck it is. Accept it or don't accept it. But the truth is the truth, and we must realize and accept the truth. So Jennifer explained to her sister, you want to live like this forever, girl? You got a man that you married, and he's a fucking player. He don't give nothing fucks about you. You stuck here driving the fucking school bus. You growing into a school bus. We know that you love Julian and I love him. But we can make a lot of money, sis. You don't have to worry about being responsible for anything anymore. I'm going to take care of you. But we need to do this. And I'm not trying to be funny, guys. Jason had to have been about 550 pounds. That when he was shot, he was still laying in his bed and he couldn't even get up. Whoever came upstairs and shot Jason, because Jason was upstairs, they came and shot through the door. And that's how they killed Jason. And the mother, she was on the first floor. So her bedroom was right by the front door. They had to have shot her first, or either if they were in the home, which we knew it was somebody that knew the family or knew them that they were familiar with, and they let them in. They had to go up and take care of Jason first. But see, Julian, the poor little baby, witnessed the whole situation. And the person that was behind this, he couldn't believe it. And he was going to tell. And they had to drive around and set William Balfour up and get rid of the child. This is just the facts. I'm going to give it to y'all cold blood in the flesh. Now, it was stated that the pistol was found by the girlfriend's house in which William was with on the west side of Chicago. And the truck was also found on another block adjacent to the area where William was staying with this girl at the time. Now, if William Balfour killed Julian and shot Julian with his gun. Why would he plant the gun outside the very apartment building where he was with this girl? Why would he put the truck over in the neighborhood where he was at with this female? It's like somebody wanted him to be caught, and it was not him himself. Come on now, y'all. We know William is a little subpar, and I don't mean that he's slow like that, but baby, there's a lot of characters that y'all gonna see coming up that is questionable about their disabilities, okay? And I'm not knocking nobody's intellectual disabilities, okay? But there is a lot of people behind the scenes, and I'm not saying that they're involved because I know that they're not really there all the way. And I'm really starting to believe that Julia Hudson is a little subpar herself. Now, I've been playing this clip, and this is a MySpace page of Julia Hudson and her husband at the time, William Balfour. If you can see on their pages, just a day before the murders, a day before her birthday, she posted that she is feeling numb and that she's just waiting to go to the MTV Awards. However, guys, if you're paying attention to this, William Balfour's mother expressed that just a day before, and I'm not making this shit up because we're going to get into that, Julia invited William over to have a slice of cake with her for her birthday. And like I said, this is when the laptop situation kicked off. She already knew he was with that girl. She already knew where that girl stayed. She knew about this young lady, both of them. There were not just one young lady, there were two. And Julia decided she was going to fix William by setting him up and making him take the fall for the sacrifice. Because this is what Jennifer told Julia that she had to do. So when you hear William in the background on the 911 call, after he left, they got into it because of the laptop situation. William came back and he stated to Julia that he wanted to get his clothes. Like I said, guys, William is a little slow. And what I mean by slow, I'm not saying that he's retarded or anything like that. He's a little slow to his surroundings and what's going on. And especially with this, because this just came out of nowhere. This was a shock and he didn't know anything about it. And they wanted to make sure he didn't know anything about it, because had he knew that those bodies were in the house and that Julian was actually missing. And this is why Julia kept expressing once again, she was outside on the 911 call by herself. And she just got home from work. We know that's a lie and that is not true. William had been staying with this girl prior to the mom, Jennifer Hudson's mom, Donnell Donnerson, kicking him out of the home. She decided and asked him to come over and have some cake, and they probably talked about getting back together. Okay, and William said, no, this is not the time. I wanted us to move out and have our own home, and I feel that we should just keep going until we figure out if we're going to be back together. But at that particular moment, Jennifer knew and Julia knew this sacrifice was going to be completed shortly. So after the slice of cake and the birthday before her actual birthday when the murders took place, that's why they decided to celebrate a day before the murders and not on her actual birthday. Guys, please pick this up. William left. He was upset. And Julia was upset, but she had to hold firm to complete the sacrifice. William then came back to the home the next day because of the laptop situation and told Julia, look, just let me get my clothes. I'm leaving. He already had the female he wanted to be with, and that was the girl that was on the west side. He was going to be with her and stay with her. Now they stated that this girl said that William supposedly allegedly had a handgun and he brandished a handgun. That was it. So if William was with this girl all night long or in the day, if he was with one at night and one in the daytime, don't you think that one of these girls would have came forth and said that he was in a truck, he had a white truck, there was a kid with him? This is complete bullshit. And this is why this court case was rushed. You guys have seen numerous cases on YouTube. These people are not even celebrities, and they're giving them public cases, such as the O.J. Simpson case. That was a national famous case because O.J. Simpson was a famous celebrity. So why didn't Jennifer Hudson's, being that it was her brother, her mother, and her young nephew being murdered in Chicago, and she's all the way over in Hollywood promoting Dreamgirls? You would think that this case would have been presented to the public on a national stance. This case would have been public, just like the George Floyd case. Why wasn't this case tried in the public's eye? Because remember, they changed the narrative to make it as William being a thug. He's been to prison for attempted murder, carjacking, alleged. All these charges are alleged. So why wasn't the case presented to being in the public's eye? Because of the evidence. There was no evidence. And this is why the case was presented behind the scenes, guys. Wake up. But I'm going to let these other people speak. And I just had to bring my little 16 and 20 minutes or seconds of commentary in front of this video. Guys, please listen and watch closely and listen with a good God-given ear, and you will hear what the truth is. Now, in my opinion, William's mom is in so much shock. She did not see this coming. And things that come out of her mouth is not suspect to me. It's just a mother that's in shock, and a mother that would never think that anything like this would happen to her son's wife or his mother-in-law in the family. Okay? This is a mother that lives in the Inglewood section of Chicago. She really doesn't have that much education in the law. Okay? We're not going to say she's not educated, but she really does not have that much education when dealing with murders. And with her saying certain things and William saying certain things like Julia could have been involved, they know that this is something suspicious and this is something unheard of. But see, they didn't know, but they probably know today that this was a blood motherfucking sacrifice. Okay? However, guys, let's go on with this. And remember, guys, I'm going to leave this with y'all. Remember how, and this is what the girl testified, this is what Julia testified, that William stated to her that he would kill her and her family. So why would he leave Julia alive to even have him locked up? Why didn't he kill her and therefore there can be no witnesses? Because Jennifer Hudson did not want to bring the light onto herself. She had to have a narrative that, oh, my poor sister boyfriend was abusive and said that he would kill her. He was abusive to her. This is why. Why didn't he kill her fat Oompa Loompa ass? Okay? Now we just gonna get into it and keep it real. I want to leave y'all with that. Remember that I stated that. If he said he would kill her and her family, why would he kill her family and not kill her and leave her alive to have him rotting away in prison? Okay? Normally, they gonna take all witnesses out. If they took Julian out, why not take Julia out? Because this was a motherfucking blood sacrifice. Okay? Now I want you guys to study this really good and listen really good to what's going on, and you can put the pieces together. This was not, because they clearly set him up, guys. They ditched the truck over by where he was and the gun. You would think he would get rid of those things.
I believe I've got Miss Michelle Davis Balfour with me now. Miss Balfour, are you there?
Yes.
Miss Balfour, thank you for being with us. I know.
No, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I know that your son is not named an official suspect in these murders as of tonight. He is a person of interest. Could you tell me, was he still romantically involved with the sister, Julia?
Was he with her?
Yes. Were they still together?
Yes, they were. Julia's birthday was just last week, and she had invited my son to have a slice of cake with her. People don't understand what's going on. My son loved her. She loved him.
Well, doesn't he have another girlfriend?
That's his wife.
Okay, hold on.
Regardless to whatever anyone says, my son still loves Julia.
Okay, but he did have a girlfriend.
She had a boyfriend.
Okay, understood. So they still, according to you, had loving feelings toward each other, but were broken up. They were broken up?
They were just together Thursday, right?
Right.
How were they broken up?
Well, I mean, if one has a girlfriend and one has a boyfriend, apparently they're not living together.
But they, because you know why? So many people was in their business. They didn't have no privacy. No privacy at all.
Now, the little boy, Julian, that's not your son's biological son, is it?
My son was incarcerated in 1996.
Right, okay, so the answer would be no.
Listen to what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
He was only 16 years old. William had stolen a car in 1996. He pled guilty. He served 9 years in Canton, Illinois. That's where me, his sister, and his godmother went and picked him up May the 5th, 2006. Okay. William was 16 at the time. No, he has never had a gun. No, he has never been bodily harmed to no one. No, he has never been the type of kid that you can say was a violent type.
Now, Miss Balfour, now hold on just a moment. I'm not saying that your son is a suspect in these murders. I'm not saying that. Police have not said that. But when you say he stole a car in 96, wasn't there a person on the car at that time? It was a car jack, and he pled guilty to attempted murder.
Let me tell you about that. My son was still in the man's car, right? The man saw my son starting his car. He ran outside, jumped on top of his own vehicle. This is why they said vehicle hijacking, because my son the man jumped on top of the car while my son was still in it, right? He stuck his hand inside the driver's side and started choking my son.
With me right now, the mother of the person of interest, that would be William Balfour. With me, Michelle Davis Balfour, who says her son is not involved. Ms. Balfour, thank you for being with us. I'd like to hear your side of the story. What is his alibi for that evening?
Okay, let me explain this to you. Number one, my condolences go out to the Hudson family, especially my daughter-in-law, Julia. No means did my son do this. The police.
Yes.
The police had my son. They did not arrest my son. Let me correct that lie. That was the story. My son turned himself in. The police did not apprehend him. Okay, that was a lie.
So him being picked up for possession of a weapon is not true?
Well, that's a lie too.
So he did not have a weapon?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay.
No, that's a violation of his parole. Let me explain something to you. They're not telling you guys everything. Jason was selling drugs out of the house. Okay.
Are you talking about Jennifer Hudson's brother?
Yes.
Well, hold on. Before we get to him, what is your son's alibi for the time of the shooting?
My son's alibi was with one of his girlfriends. Okay, one of the girls that he's dating. They are Julia and William were separated, but they were still together. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
William was not raised to disrespect no one, so he left the home. He wasn't kicked out. He wasn't put out. Julia wanted William back. If Julia felt that William was a threat, don't you think she would have put a restraining order on him?
Well, according to sources,
Yes or no?
no, I don't know that she would have done that. No, I don't know their situation at all.
I'm just saying, if you feel that a person is threatening your family, Would you want them?
Well, you know,
around
frankly,
your
Ms.
family?
Balfour, women all across this country are afraid of men, and they don't get a temporary restraining
Do
order.
that family
So I
look
don't
like
know
they're
what they
afraid?
would do.
Do that family look like they're afraid?
I don't know. You
Okay,
tell me.
okay.
You tell me.
No,
Was she
they're
afraid?
not afraid
Had
of
they
him.
had disputes in the past? Had they had an argument in the past?
No.
Then why did they break up?
Why did they break up?
Yes.
Because William wanted them to move out into their own apartment.
You said that Jennifer Hudson's brother was selling drugs, but isn't it true that your son was picked up on drugs this past June?
Wait a minute. Let me correct you on that one.
Okay. Correct me.
You always stop saying that one.
Okay, tell me.
William went over there. He was not living with Julia at the time, right? William went by the house to see Julia. When he came out, there was some shooting over there in the Inglewood area. So the police automatically pulled William over. William stepped out of the car. When the police went back over to the car, they searched the car and they found some drugs in the car. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. They arrested my son and pounded his car. Okay? They had no probable cause for searching that car. That's why the charges were dropped. William said the police put the drugs in there. I told him it wasn't the police. It was Julia.
So you believe that Julia...
Yes, I told my son it was Julia that did this because she was upset because William had started dating another girl. So it's always two sides of the story. Don't make it seem like my son is the one that was stalking her. He went on with his life. You understand? He went on with his life.
Well, actually, nobody has said stalking. You're the first person that said that. Why would you even bring that up?
Why did I bring that up? Because that's the way you all are painting him, portraying my son as being the worst scum of the earth.
No, actually, I've got you on tonight to give your side.
You all are not saying that my son was employed. From the
Is he good? Tell me about that. Where was he employed?
Cozy on Jackson, Michigan and Jackson, downtown in Chicago. My son had been employed there since he gotten out of jail. You all have put my son's face on worldwide news like he's the killer of the hunt. You all not saying that my son obtained his GED while he was in the correctional facility. You all are not saying that my son took up horticulture while he was there. William is a very smart and intelligent young man. Why didn't they charge him? If they say he violated his parole, right? Why his parole officer is not terminated from his job? Why? Ask the Chicago Police Department. Why haven't they not terminated?
Ms. Balfour, you're asking me a lot of questions that nobody knows the answer to.
This is what everybody knows.
No. Not everybody. That has not been said on this show. So, ma'am, you need to get your facts straight because that has not been said on this show.
I didn't say it was. I'm not
You
saying
said everybody. I'm not everybody.
I'm just in general saying to the public.
Yeah, well, let's just get that straight. And I want to get something else straight about his alibi. You said he was with his girlfriend. What girlfriend?
Well, William has two girlfriends.
Well, which one?
I know my oldest son, which is Raymond, his brother, had told me he was with Diana that night and he was with Tate in the morning.
You hear me out there, man? Yeah, you hear me, man. Now, you did some things, man, like promoting your album in front of the murder scene, man. A lot of people was mad at that, man. What they really want to know, man, how'd you feel about your son? Like, what do you feel about your son, man? That's what they really want to know. Did you even care about him? What did you feel?
That was a sad situation, you know. I wish I could have been there, you know. I wish I could have had my son that night before that happened. You know, then at least I know he would have been with me and that would have never happened. I felt like I could have went out there and I could have did something to do mother or something. I felt like I could have just hurt one of his younger people in his family or something. You know, and that broke my heart.
Now, I want to ask you, man, do you feel like you need to say a public apology, man, to the whole world? Because you was right in front of the Hudson's house, man, where the murder scene happened. And you was like promoting your album, man.
I would never for it looking that way. I'm truly sorry for it looking that way. But I was not trying to be promoting my album and speaking upon that situation. You know, if I had known that people was gonna respond like they did to me doing that, I wouldn't have never done it. Never, ever, ever done it. Never would I have done it. You know, and I truly apologize, and I hope that y'all can forgive me. I pray to God that you guys can forgive me. I'm sorry, you know, but, you know, I'm sorry. You know, that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I remember the whole TMZ thing, man. It was crazy, man. The media blew it up, man. It was about Jennifer Hudson. It was about Julia Hudson, man. You know, it was just crazy, man. Nobody could feel a father's pain. It was like nobody knew nothing about you, man.
Okay, I understand Jennifer is who she is. You know, she's Jennifer Hudson. She's superstar. She's on top of the mountain. Cool, and I'm fine with that. I'm proud of her. I'm happy for it. You know, keep it going. You know, that's what's up. But it's like people wasn't thinking about me. It's like people wasn't thinking about, okay, how the daddy may feel. You know, what was he at? Or it's like I ain't hearing none of those questions. Or didn't nobody even come try to find out where the daddy was at, or if I had anything to say, you know. But it just got me all puzzled and screwed up in the head, man. It ain't cool, you know. But through the grace of God, I'm gonna make it anyway. I'm gonna be good anyway. So it's whatever. So people can be how they want to be. It's all good.
The next thing I want to ask you, man, are you concerned about Jennifer Hudson or even Julia Hudson? Because, man, it looked kind of bad, man. You're trying to promote your album, you know what I'm saying, at your dead mother-in-law's house, man. It just didn't look right, man. Are you concerned about what Jennifer Hudson think or Julia Hudson think, man? Or are you concerned about what anybody think?
I really don't know what they think, you know. But who cares what they think, you know? But, you know, I didn't mean no harm.
Now, I know, but a lot of people see this all over the YouTube, all over the internet. They're going to be looking at face expressions, and they might think in their mind, you know, they might think that he's not sincere about what he's saying. So I want to holler at you to describe something that people in the public don't know.
Man, whatever they out here saying about KP, they wrong. First of all, this is a good-hearted man. He loved his son. All that other stuff is nonsense. He's a good man. All that other bashing him and stuff like that, what you haters or something, you know what I'm saying? He means to come out here and promote his CD while he's trying to make a statement about his son. He just trying to make a statement about his son to let the world know how he feels, because everybody worrying about what they feel. What about how he feel? Don't nobody worry about how he feel, what the daddy got to say or what the daddy got to do with it. So now when he come out and want to express his feelings, and then he actually didn't put his CD up there, y'all want to bash the man. He's not like that. He's not trying to use his son to get on or nothing like that. He been doing this way for what I hear, way before his son was even born. He used to be in ropes and beating on the tables, making beats and stuff. This was his dream. So all that other nonsense, y'all need to cut it out, because that man got a good heart.
Now, how does Gregory King feel about Julia Hudson and Jennifer Hudson? It had to come to this point. I know he was trying to touch him. I know he was trying to reach out and touch him a year ago. They were always ignoring him. How does he feel about that?
You know, he never bad-mouthed Jennifer or Julia. He talked to her the highest most about them. Every time he see them on TV, every time they hear their name or whatever, he talked to her most about it. And sometimes I be getting mad about it, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, and the thing about that, it took him 2 years to get where he at. After his son, his mother, and his grandmother, they passed away in
entrepreneur thing and the fact that this biological dad had a female that's not involved any way, shape, form, or fashion with the creation and procreation of his child to even furtherly speak for him. And she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And she sounds very slow. Okay? Like she gets a SSI check. We're just keeping it real, guys. Allegedly, okay? Like I stated, you guys believe what you want to believe. There is an innocent man sitting in prison for a murder and murders that he did not commit. In my opinion, William Balfour loved Julian with his whole heart and soul more than his own biological dad did. He decided to marry his mom. And this was way before Jennifer Hudson even went to American Idol. They all grew up in the same neighborhood, played along, and went to school with one another. However, William Balfour loved Julian with all his heart and soul. He loved Julia. They had differences. But Jennifer Hudson and Julia Hudson set this up. This was nothing other than a blood sacrifice. The mom did not want to leave the house. She wanted to stay in Chicago. She was not well. She was overweight herself. And so was Jason and Julian also. And like I said, her sister did not have a good choice of men. And why have a good choice of not have a good choice of men and keep a son in turmoil rather than to be free and come on over to Hollywood and make millions and millions of dollars and get into the industry? I wouldn't be surprised that Jennifer Hudson's sister, Julia, is working behind the scenes on the casting couch, if you know what I mean, because she hasn't been seen or heard from since. You would think that she would make a national news coverage stating something or doing further interviews about her son, losing her son and her mother and her brother in a tragic way, and she went in to find their bodies. Yes, guys, it was all a setup. Whether you want to believe me or not, pay attention to the details. It's right in your face. The media comes to seek, kill, and destroy and make evidence and stories not what they seem to be. That's what us real YouTubers are here for, to bring the truth and nothing but the truth. So if you like this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button and the notification bell so when I drop a new video, you guys will be aware. Until the next video, guys, take care.